Hello, welcome back to another Q&A office hour and strategy call. I am so glad to be back here with you all today. I have been doing quite a bit of traveling for business and it was to today's dietitian symposium. And always pre-conference and post-conference, it's like a whirlwind. Takes me a while to get back on my feet. But please know that I am here for you, back in town, and we are getting back to our support sessions in terms of Q&A office hours and also our coaching calls for you so that you have all of the support that you need. So thank you for your patience with all of the rescheduling. So the way that we're going to be moving forward now is that our Q&A office hour and strategy calls are going to be every other week. And then our coaching calls are also going to be every other week. And the way that we have it scheduled now, it's perfect because you'll have some type of support either with me here or with Karen on the coaching calls every week. And then of course, you can always hop into the Facebook group with any questions or concerns that you might have. Welcome everyone. I'm just going to hop over into comments. Give me a wave if you can hear and see me okay. Great to see you all here. So today we are going to be covering a lot of frequently asked questions. We have plenty of new members and excuse me. And typically when people start onboarding, they all have similar types of questions. So I think it's really valuable to cover here. One of the things that we're going to be doing today in our strategy call is covering the goals and intentions behind these questions, because the answers are always like relative, right? So if somebody asks me a question, like the first question I'm going to answer is, should I offer retail meal plans? I usually answer that with a question first. Well, what is your intention? Why are you thinking that you want to offer retail meal plans? Or why are you thinking that you want to incorporate them into practice offerings? Because both have benefits to them, of course, but it really does depend on your goal and your intention. So as I go through these questions and I answer them, excuse me, please consider, what your intention is. What are you actually trying to accomplish here? Okay, terrific. Oh, hi, Innie. Great to see you here. Thank you so much. So Innie from Niger Goddess is joining us here this afternoon, and she is responsible for some more fantastic cooking videos coming to you into your library. So Innie, thank you so much for all of your hard work. We all really appreciate you. So today's dietitian was exciting. I got to meet some of our members on the floor, which was super fun. Always great to connect in person. We conducted some interviews. I have a podcast now, for those of you who don't already know. It's called the Nutrition Content Creator Podcast. And I just finished releasing. I didn't release it yet. It hasn't been published, but I just finished creating the audio piece for all of the interviews that I did on the floor at today's dietitian. So all of the colleagues and members that I met there, I conducted interviews. So you'll be able to hear that on the podcast. So if you haven't already joined or followed the podcast, it's called Nutrition Content Creator, and you could head over there to get some more audio support from me, as well as these strategy calls and the coaching calls. So again, just trying to support you as much as we can. So today we are going to be covering frequently asked questions. You are here with me today, so feel free to ask questions. It is not limited to what I have preloaded here in our banners. So please ask questions as we move along, and I am happy to answer them. You have me answer them for you. You have me for the next hour. So the first question that we get, and it's very frequently asked, is should I offer retail meal plans? I'm actually going to share my screen with you now, because some of you don't know what a quote unquote retail meal plan is. Let me share my screen with you now. This is our colleague and one of our founding members, Meryl Brandwine. And Meryl, this is her website. And you can see here at the top, she has meal plans. And if I click on meal plans, it brings us to a Brandwine Institute for Nutrition and Wellness meal plan page. And she offers just a few, which is great. I mean, I wouldn't, if you are going to offer retail meal plans like this, I wouldn't offer more than 3 or 4. You certainly don't want to offer pages and pages. I think we have over 20 pre-curated protocols that you can use as retail plans, but you can also use your signature plans, which we're going to talk about today too, on your website, and strongly recommend that you consider doing that. So this is a retail plan. This allows someone to purchase a meal plan from Merrill, from the Brandwine Institute for Nutrition and Wellness, without having met Merrill, right? So they can just purchase the meal plan if that's all that they need. It could be a previous client just looking for continued support. They can just purchase the meal plan, or it could be a lead generator for Merrill as well. Somebody who's looking for meal plans in her area of Florida, and they end up on her page and they buy a meal plan. That is a lead generating mechanism. So again, what is your goal and intention? If you wanted to offer meal plans to support clients who have worked with you but are no longer working with you, they're kind of like in that maintenance phase, this is perfect. If you're looking to generate leads, this is perfect, because there are a lot of people Googling meal plans. So, who provides meal plans, or an anti-inflammatory meal plan, or a low FODMAP meal plan, and they will end up on your website. So that's great for lead generating too. If you're looking to generate passive income, this is totally great, but recognize that that is only going to work if that's your goal and your intention is to generate passive income. You have to have a lot of traffic coming to your website to generate any kind of income from selling meal plans. So don't be fooled by the messaging that you hear that you can generate passive income, just offering meal plans and, just make money on autopilot. Like that, it doesn't work that way unless you are a major influencer and or you have a significant amount of traffic going to your website. That is when you could potentially generate passive income. And this is what it looks like. So to answer your question, should I offer retail meal plans? Just think about, what is your goal? What is your intention? If you want to generate passive income, great, but you better have a lot of traffic going to your website. Otherwise, it might not make sense. Do you want to generate leads? This is a great way to do it. Do you want to support clients who previously worked with you? That is also a great way to do it. So there are a lot of reasons why you might want to consider having retail meal plans. Does anybody have any questions about the retail meal plans? You can ask that now. All right. I'm just going to hide that screen now. Great. So retail meal plans on your website, you offer to the public. Oh, let me just show you the mechanism, how that works, because some of you don't know, especially if you're new. So we provide you with the landing pages and the URLs to put behind this call of action. So here's the call of action. I'm going to click on it. This landing page that I'm being brought to is, oops, I'm logged into Living Plate RX. So it's going to bring me to a different one. Sorry. Let me log out. Hold on. Oh, see, there we go. Hold on one second. We get back to Merrill and her meal plans. There we go. So now if I click on this, it should bring me to Merrill's landing page. These are pre-built for you. So when you went through the wizard and you created your Living Plate RX account, we asked you for your logo. It gets dropped here. We asked you for your profile picture. It gets dropped here. And we also asked you for your credentials. You can change any one of these inside of your Living Plate RX dashboard. So if something has changed between the time that you went through the wizard and now, you can go into your account and change that. But these are landing pages that are pre-built for you. Again, you can use one of our pre-curated meal plans or one of your signature meal plans. And then your client can click here and they can sign up either for a free trial. If you have it set, they can select customizable or static. Again, those are settings you can control inside of your dashboard. You want to go inside of your Living Plate RX Prime tab to be able to control that. And you can also set your pricing there. So there's a lot of decisions that you can make about these retail plans, how much they are, if you want to offer customizable and static, and if you wanted to offer even a free trial or not. Okay, so I'm glad I remembered to show you that mechanism. Our next question is, how do I customize meal plans efficiently? The best thing to do is to create a signature plan that most closely aligns with the pillars of patients that you serve or clients that you serve. So that is how you don't want to create meal plans for every single client from scratch. That is exhausting. That is unsustainable. Even with the best digital meal planning software, which you have access to, doesn't take a whole lot of time to curate the plan. But curating one full week, considering a client's nutrition prescription, might take you 30 minutes if it's more complicated. But you don't want to create just 1 week. You want to create 6 weeks, and you want to set them on a rotating schedule. So it could take you a really long time if you wanted to do that for an individual client. So here's my recommendation to you. And again, what is your goal? What is your intention? So if you are creating a meal plan for a particular client of yours in your practice, the first thing that you want to do is decide which of the meal plans that you currently have access to or that you created most closely aligns with that client's nutrition prescription. And, let's just take a step back though first. If you only serve one type of client, let's say you focus solely on the low FODMAP diet. It's pretty easy. You're going to offer a variety of low FODMAP plans. Maybe you have low FODMAP and then low FODMAP plant-based. Maybe you offer low FODMAP 3-day, 5-day, 4-day. It's your decision. So you want to create kind of a bank of meal plans that are applicable to your ideal client or the client that you serve. But some of us, and I would say most of us, even in a very well-defined niche, are going to have patients who fall into different pillars. So you might have, clients who follow a plant-based diet, clients who follow a low glycemic index diet, all with similar nutrition prescriptions. You might want to curate plans based on caloric levels, for example. So when you start with Living Plate RX, or even if you've been with us for 4 years, you really want to think about the pillars of clients that you serve. Clients come to you and they fit into certain buckets almost always. You want to create a signature plan for each one of those buckets. And then that way, when a client comes to you, you can assign them to the one that is most closely aligned with their nutrition prescription. And then that will eliminate you having to do a lot of editing at the client level. You really want to limit that. The reason why that this is true is because the clients can make the changes themselves, right? So you are the educator, you are the coach, and you will be instructing the clients how they can modify their plans if they want to themselves. So essentially, you're enabling them to fish for themselves rather than, giving them the fish. So make sure that when you start issuing meal plans that you think about who are the clients that I serve? Do they fit into certain categories, or do they fit into certain programs that I offer? If you offer a variety of programs, that's great, because then you can build different meal plans for those different programs. So that would work out really, really nicely. And then you assign that client the meal plan that most closely aligns with their nutrition prescription. Then you can edit at the client level. Now, if your client needs support, what I liked to do when I was in practice was I used to take about a month, and I worked a lot with people who had gastrointestinal issues, so low FODMAP. So it was really important for me to work with them on the client level a little bit more than maybe somebody else who was following a more generalized diet, like an anti-inflammatory. Was the first week, I would curate the meal plan for them and make any changes that they wanted. So if they didn't like salmon, or if they had an almond allergy or whatever, I would do those changes for them. The second and third weeks, we would work together, right? I would curate a few days, they would edit a few days, but by week 4, they were flying solo. That is how you get people to meal plan on their own and to make some decisions on their own, so that you don't have to constantly be doing that. So hoping that makes sense for you. I don't want you to be bogged down with creating meal plans for every single client. It's just not sustainable. So think about it on the signature level, curate different plans for different pillars, and then assign the client to the one that is most closely aligned with their nutrition prescription. Next question. Can I incorporate meal delivery services into meal plans? Yes, you can. And if you use one that you trust, I strongly recommend that you do this, because it can be a sustainable solution for your clients and your patients. I don't think that meal kit deliveries or meal delivery services are the total solution, nor do I think that meal plans are the total solution. I think that it lives somewhere in between. Nobody is going to follow your meal plan for breakfast, lunch, snack, and dinner every single day. That's never going to happen. So that's not an expectation that you should set. So giving clients the option of either ordering meals or ordering meal kits is a great option, and it can promote quicker health behavior change. And the way that you do this is you pick a meal, like a meal delivery service that you like. So let's say it's Sunbasket, for example. We used to partner with Sunbasket, and we may revisit it again in the future. But essentially why it didn't work was because our dietitians, they offered an affiliate Sunbasket. Our dietitians wanted to be able to capitalize on that affiliate link. So if you are interested in affiliate fees for these different companies, you would reach out to them. They would give you an affiliate link for their service, and then you could plug that into a recipe tile. And I do quote unquote recipe tile because the recipe tile in the meal plan is really nothing more than a space to hold the information. So for most of the recipe tiles inside of your meal plans, they hold recipes that we create here that people can follow. But you can also create a recipe by adding a recipe in your dashboard and just make it the meal delivery kit. So that one, or that meal, right? That one meal. So you absolutely can do that. All you need to do is follow the directions for entering a branded product into your meal plans. It is in the meal plan masterclass in your library. So go to that tutorial and it will walk you through how to enter a branded product, and the meal kits kind of fall into that category. So trust me, meal kit delivery services would love to have you include, excuse me, their meal kits inside of your meal plans because you're recommending it to patients. So it's great. And you will have the opportunity to install the link for your clients. So that's where it becomes more efficient for them, because you will have this meal plan, and let's say they want to do three meal kits per week, just to kind of lighten the load. Tuesday through Thursday, I want 3 meal kits. Okay, well, you as the practitioner, you're going to select 3 meal kits that most closely align with their nutrition prescription. You're going to grab the link to that meal kit and you're going to insert it into a recipe tile. And then you can click and drag it into the meal plan, and your client will see it and they can click that link, and it's just an outbound link to that meal kit delivery service. So it just makes the process of recommending things like that meal kit delivery service much more seamless for you. And it makes it really easy on your clients as well. We have a question. Are these just 30-day plans? And I think there was more to that question, but it got cut off. So if you want to ask that again, but one of our Facebook members asked if there are just 30-day plans. No, there are more than 4-week plans. So every meal plan is different. So you'll want to check that out. There is a quick start guide to the meal plans inside of your meal plan masterclass. So you can take a look. It's just a PDF document that tells you this is a 6-week rotating meal plan. This is a 4-week rotating meal plan. And then I think we have a few, like the elimination diet, which is a 2-week rotating meal plan. So check it out, and they're all rotating meal plans. So they will just set to repeat. I recommend the 4 or 6 week. Those are really the best experience for the patient. Like, nobody remembers what they had for breakfast yesterday, let alone what they had 4 weeks ago. So 4 weeks almost always is good enough. And also recognize that these rotating meal plans give clients the opportunity to make changes themselves. So on week 1, they will see that on week 4, they will see week 1's meal plan again, but they can change the whole thing. But as a practitioner, what you should encourage them to do is really every week find something or a few things that you really like that you can put on repeat. After 4 weeks, your clients are going to start developing a repertoire, right? So those recipes can remain in the meal plan, and then they can drop and edit and experiment with other recipes so that they can continue to really cultivate confidence in the kitchen for themselves. Confidence really just comes from repeating recipes. People are not going to be cooking new recipes every week. As glorious as that sounds, it's not going to happen, right? Unless you have somebody cooking those meals for you. And even if you had somebody cooking those meals for you, there are meals that you like having, right? You probably go to certain restaurants because you look forward to having certain meals. And it's no different with the meal plans. You want the clients to really dive into the meal plan and find recipes that they like and put on repeat. And then the others, they can change very, very easily. All right. This question is relevant to the question that we just answered, actually. Can I add branded products to my meal plans? Yes, you can. And I encourage you to do that. If there are products that you use frequently, such as nutrition shakes to, maybe for someone who has higher protein needs, maybe you want to add a protein supplement to their smoothies. So you could add, there might be a smoothie recipe that you like. You can just add 2 scoops of a protein supplement to that smoothie without changing the recipe. Just add the protein as a recipe, right? So do a screen capture of that protein shake and then add directions, add 2 scoops to your favorite smoothie. And there you go. And you just click and drag it. That's the beauty of our meal planners, that you can stack things, right? Same thing is true for things like snacks. I think that branded products work really, really well in that snack meal category, because that's where people struggle a little bit there. They need like grab and go. They don't always have time, as simple as it is to slice an apple or a pear and spread it with nut butter and sprinkle it with hemp seeds, which is delicious. They might not have time for that. Or they, a couple of times a week, they're just on the road and they just want to grab something. Having a branded product like a bar that you like and you use yourself and that you recommend to your clients, having that in the meal plan can be really, really valuable. Moving forward, I would say certainly probably on the 6-month horizon, we are going to make it optional for certain brands to be included in your meal plans. So what is that going to look like? That is going to look like you, my community, making decisions about what branded products you want in the meal plans. Now, we had done this once before where we did a poll in our group and asked, what products do you recommend to clients all the time that would be really helpful to have preloaded into Living Plate RX? None of the responses were surprising to me. It's all like the frequent brands that we see that are more health focused and really balanced and really accessible to patients. It was really helpful having some of them in the meal planner, but it was difficult managing those relationships for me, only because I was, working alone and trying to, work with the brands and serve you guys at the same time. So I let that go for the time being, but we're going to be revisiting it because we have more support now at Living Plate RX. So there will be a product like our favorite brands tab inside of your recipe box, and you will be able to opt into that. So you'll be able to make choices. Some of our community members don't want branded products at all, and some want to be really specific about the ones that they enable in the meal plans, because remember, your clients can search for these things, right? So let's say, for example, you recommend Kind bars or Good Culture cottage cheese. Boy, would I like to be that company right now, huh? All the things that they're doing with cottage cheese now. It's wonderful. But let's say that you wanted to include those products inside of your meal plans. You'll be able to really easily do that. And again, I think that's probably 6 months away, if not sooner. So you can look forward to that, but nothing will be imposed upon you. You will always be able to make the decision of whether or not you want clients to be able to have access to those branded products or not. All right. Next question. How do I send clients videos? We get this question a lot around different intentions, right? So again, what is your goal? What is your intention? If you want to provide added support as part of an intervention for a client, so as part of your medical nutrition therapy, you want to send this client a video. Let's say that you're recommending that they start making chia pudding for breakfast or for snacks. And they're like, wow, I've never made it before. Like, how do you make it? You're going to give them a recipe. You're going to include the recipe inside of their meal plan. But wow, you can also send them videos. And we have some really great videos around overnight oats and chia puddings that you can send to clients. That's really easy to do. You would just download it from Canva, right? So everybody has access in the library to these cooking videos. You've got well over 100 now, and you get 3 more every month. Thank you to Innie and Betsy. Excuse me. So you will download that video, and then inside of your EHR, you will upload a link. So I think a few of our members have tried to just use the link right from Canva, like a view only link. And they've had some success with it, but it's not totally reliable. The most reliable kind of workflow is to download the video and upload it to a video hosting platform. EHRs like Practice Better and Healthy do not host videos natively, meaning that you can't upload the video to Healthy and Practice Better to send to a client. You need to insert a link, a video link. You can upload the videos to YouTube. I strongly advise against that, only because you can't control the ads that your clients see. And once you start uploading videos, like health-related videos, to your YouTube channel, YouTube knows what your clients are interested in, and they start putting a lot of nonsense in front of them. So, things like diet teas and cleanses and things like that. So you definitely, want to avoid that if at all possible. Although I do recognize YouTube is free, so some of us may need to use that as a resource. But we do recommend something like a Vimeo or a Wistia as a host, and you can upload that video to Vimeo, generates a link, and you insert that link into your EHR. So if your goal and intention for this video is to provide added support and added education to your clients, that is the best way to do it. If you are incorporating videos if your goal and intention is to add a video to a course, and you are using a learning management software like Kajabi or Teachable or LearnDash or Thinkific, you can upload the video natively to the platform. You will not need to generate a link. So in that case, you would just download from Canva and upload to your learning management software. And we also provide you, by the way, inside of the library, inside of the cooking videos, you also get content with that. Let's go ahead and take a look at that now. I can share that with you. Let's go into the library. Let's go into cooking videos. Here we go. And we'll just pick one here. Here's chia pudding 3 ways. There you go. Right. So you can easily download this video. You're going to download it here. And then you are going to, and I even show you how you can edit it. This one actually doesn't have content because it has 3 different recipes in it. But a lot of these do. There is content there that you can just copy and paste and add it to your course. Let's just go back here. I actually think that, let's go into a course. That's where I include a lot of the like narratives about different videos. Let me just scroll here, find a course that we've been working on, and we'll get in there. Here's one. Look at this, nutrition and detoxification. For those of you who have been waiting for this, go ahead and dive in and start using it. I've marked it as in review. You can see that up here, but you can absolutely start using it right away. Let's go ahead and take a look at one of the videos. So here's chicken Waldorf collard wraps. Sorry. You click here, it will open up the video for you. You can download it and upload it. And then look, here's all the content. So I'm going to correct myself here. So the content for the videos is typically inside of the courses and the collections because the conversation is relevant to that collection. Inside of the cooking videos, you're going to be getting the link with instructions on how to brand it. Does anybody have any questions about the videos? Just come over here to see. Yes, we have a question. If you use branded items, you might be able to get paid for that. Oh, yes. So somebody from our Facebook group is suggesting that you can insert an affiliate link for branded products. And that is true. There are branded products who are very keen on working with nutrition professionals because they know that you are the pathway to getting their product inside of your client's grocery cart, which is great if that product can help them meet their health goals. Like you'll want to get that product inside of their grocery cart. So yes, whoever made that recommendation, absolutely, you would get an affiliate link from that brand or from that meal kit company, and you would be able to get reimbursed for that as well. You can do the same thing with like cooking tools, like, hey, I use this microplane. Here's my affiliate link. here's my affiliate link for, purchasing it on Amazon. So there's all kinds of ways that you can generate extra income for yourself if you wanted to. And in a very, you want to be transparent about it, right? So in a very transparent way, you want to let people know that you're going to be getting an affiliate fee for that. All right. So how do I send my clients videos? You are either going to upload a link to your EHR. If you wanted to send it to them in as part of a course, you would just upload it natively. But then also, let's say that you wanted to send out an email. If you wanted to do an email challenge, which we just did with a group a few weeks ago, we built out this really cool email challenge for them to use in their practices. And we encourage them to include videos. For those, you also want to include a link to access that video. So you can ask in the email, you can either say, click this link to view video. One of the really fun things that I like to do is to create GIFs with the video. So you can generate a GIF inside of Canva for that said video, and you can install that GIF because it's small enough right onto your email. So your clients would see like a video, a very short GIF video, and you can assign the link to that video. Click this video or click this link. You probably want to include the link several times in that email so that they get directed to that cooking video. All right. We have a comment here. Hillary is saying, I'm setting up my Amazon affiliate link this week. Brilliant. That's terrific, Hillary. You can use it for all kinds of products. You can use it for all kinds of cooking tools. I wouldn't use it for supplements. I would definitely use FullScript, which, again, you can set an affiliate for that as well. But yeah, Amazon is great for a lot of different things. Right, we have a couple of questions here. Let me just go in and see here. So Hillary, somebody is asking you in the feed, how do you set up an affiliate for Amazon? I think it's pretty simple. Who's ever asking that question? It's pretty simple. You can even Google how to set up an Amazon affiliate link or an affiliate account, or you can just go to Amazon and search for that as well. It's very, very simple to set that up. Okay, I'm just going to go over here to our Facebook group so that I can see what's going on here. My phone had died earlier. There we are. Let me turn this lower. All right, any other questions on videos? We get a lot of questions on videos. Videos are big files, and we have, we create very high quality, high resolution videos. So, you're going to find spaces that can't host them natively because they are so big. Okay, Raksha, Denise, Amy, welcome. So good to see you guys here. I'm so glad to be back with you guys. All right, let's move on to, okay, perfect. Here we go. How can I create a meal plan and set macros and calories? Okay, where do we start here? This is probably number one. This is probably the most frequently asked question because this is one of the differentiators between us and our competition. And we're talking about computer algorithms. So if you have used another meal planning platform in the past where you could plug in some requirements like a nutrition prescription and macros and calories, and then press a button and have a computer algorithm generate a meal plan for you, that is typically where this question is coming from. So the person who is asking this question, their intention is to replicate maybe what they had been doing with other software, but their goal is really to improve workflow, right? Because it sounds awesome. Like, I just want to plug in chronic kidney disease, set the macros and set the number of calories and have a computer spit out a meal plan for me. This is the entire reason why I created Living Plate RX, right? This is the only reason why it got started, because computer algorithms create lousy meal plans. I'm sorry. It's just, they never worked for me. And when I used them in practice, my clients knew that I wasn't the one who was creating the meal plans. And it didn't feel right, having a computer generate the meal plan. Now, I think that computer algorithms have their place and we do use them for certain things, but we don't use them to create meal plans and we don't use them to screen out recipes. Our meal plans are more kind of go related than no related, if that makes sense. And for some of you who are new to the platform, I recognize it can be a little frustrating because you're looking to improve your workflow. And then all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, I have to change the food to adjust the macros and the calories? Yes, you do, because that's how you get the best kind of meal plan. So it is human enabled technology inside of Living Plate RX. The technology does not drive the meal plans, again, because that typically generates a lousy meal plan. So how can you create a meal plan that has certain macros and calories? Now, remember earlier on in this Q&A strategy session, we talked about creating signature meal plans for different pillars, different categories of clients that you have in your practice. This is the best thing to do, right? You're going to want to look at the macros and the calories for these different plans. And then you adjust the food in the plan to drive the macros and the calories. Now, as a nutrition professional, this is not hard for you. If you know that a client needs to follow a lower glycemic index meal plan, but they need higher calories, you're going to add fats. You're going to add things like nuts and avocados and fatty fish like salmon. It's I know it makes sense to you, right? But it's a different way of thinking. We so quickly went from, I need meal plans to, a computer is the answer. Computer algorithms are the answer. And I was that practitioner too 7 years ago. I'm like, oh, thank goodness somebody has done this, because that's what I want. I just want to create a meal plan because I'm sick of creating them day after day after day. They're taking too much of my revenue generating time, but they just didn't work. And so the Living Plate RX meal planning software strikes a nice balance, and we are getting better at it. Like, we're open to creating inputting tools or creating tools for you inside of the platform that help you here, right? With the macros and the calories. For example, why don't we just go in, let me do a screen share here and I'll show you, this is our website. I'm just going to take you in. Actually, let me just go back here real quick. Before I move forward with this, I just wanted you to see this splash page if you haven't seen it already. This splash page was put in place because some of your clients were, seeing Living Plate RX and they were just Googling Living Plate RX to try and find their meal plan. And they were quite confused when they ended up on the practitioner facing site. So we have this splash page. This is the main page at Living Plate RX. So your clients can now just log in here. So they take that direction. Now I'm going to go to the Health and Wellness Pros and I'm going to log in here. Let me just go to my demo account. Stacy, I see your question. I'm going to answer that in a second. And let's go ahead and go into a meal plan. And I will show you how you can manipulate the food to drive your macros and your calories. Let's just go into one of the planners here. And so you can see, once the planner comes up here, let me just open this up. So we inserted the macro bar up at the top here. That was probably 1.5 years ago that we installed that. So it enables you, as you're changing the meal plan. So let's just drag a couple of things into this empty day. As you're curating your meal plan, you can see the macros change. So you know what foods to look for. And when you search a food, you're going to find recipes too. So you're going to find things that will help you, support you, get to the macro composition and the calories that you want for that day. You will never be curating a 7-day meal plan. And in fact, you should never be curating a 5-day meal plan. I'm not a fan. I think 4 days is more than enough, and you should put some things on repeat. So even if you're creating things from scratch and you're using our human-enabled technology, you're going to get a very high-quality meal plan that does meet certain macro goals. As you can see the search bar over here, as I'm just kind of waving my cursor up and down it, that macro bar for that recipe is also populating. So before you even click and drag that recipe into your meal planner, you'll be able to see the macro composition and the calories for that. All right, Stacy is asking, can you up the serving size for someone to eat? I know we can adjust the serving for a recipe. Yes, Stacy, actually, let me go ahead and show you that now. So that's, Stacy brings up a really great point. What if you wanted to increase calories for someone's meal plan, or you just wanted to create a signature plan that had higher calories? All you need to do is adjust the number of servings that a recipe, creates. So let's just pick something here. Let's see. Let's just pick. Let's do the. Actually, pudding. Yeah, sure. We'll do the chia pudding. Why not? All right. So this serves 4 people. Each serving is 289 calories, but I'm working with an athlete who needs twice that much at least for breakfast. Scaling the recipe is not going to help. This just scales it up to 6 servings or lower to 4 servings. What you want to do is change the number of servings this recipe makes. If I change this to 2, what's going to happen, Stacy, is that my nutrition facts are going to double. So I'm going to edit this recipe, and I'm going to just rename it higher calorie, for example, raspberry chia pudding. Going to scroll down here. Oh, not scroll down, scroll up. See where it says recipe serves 4? I'm going to replace that with 2. And you will see that our nutrition facts, will change on them. Just save it. And there it goes. 578 calories. So if you're looking to increase or decrease the calories per serving, you need to edit how many people the recipe serves. Does that make sense, Stacy? So just go into your recipe editor. Let me save this now and you'll see. It'll now replace that recipe in the meal planner with the higher calorie version. Okay, higher calorie raspberry chia pudding right there. Perfect. So again, you want to adjust the number of people that it serves. We've gotten the question before. Stacy, while I'm here, I'm actually going to answer that question too, which is how come we don't provide like the amount of a serving? So like 1 cup or 2 cups, because some of our practitioners, I can stop sharing my screen. Some of our practitioners use like exchanges for blood sugar control, and having serving sizes like a cup or a cup and a half or 2 cups can be helpful to them. In a meal plan that where your clients are making the recipes, that doesn't work. It never works because it's not a standardized process of creating that recipe. So if you have canned soup, yes, that is produced in a closed environment where the serving size can be standardized and the calories can be standardized. It can be estimated, but I'm not in the area of estimation. Like, we need to give our clients the exact number of calories that they are consuming. And the best way to do that is to draw on the ingredients, right? So we know we have 4 carrots, 1 onion, and it serves 4 people, this recipe. So, you know, the calculation just breaks it up and it gives us the number of calories. But it is impossible in a home environment to say that this recipe, you know, 1 cup of this recipe is going to yield this number of calories. It doesn't work. That only works with standardized products that are created in a manufacturing facility and closed environment. So I answered 2 questions with that answer. Okay. Something else that comes up frequently: can I eliminate foods my clients are allergic to? This is a great question. And it's super valid, right? Because we don't want clients who have a walnut allergy eating walnuts. But I promise you, if walnuts are on the meal plan, they're not going to eat the walnuts. If they know they have a walnut allergy, they're not going to eat the walnuts. But we do recognize that, or we did recognize because we already deployed this code, that it's valuable for you as a practitioner to alert your clients to certain things being in the meal plan. Now, that could be something like an allergen, like walnuts or almonds or cashews or milk or yogurt. And remember, if you are inputting something that your clients are allergic to, it has to be the food, not the category. So it can't be dairy, because dairy is not an ingredient. Milk is an ingredient. Yogurt is an ingredient. Cheese is an ingredient. So you have to think through the ingredient. You have to look at it through the ingredient lens and not the category lens. The USDA does categorize tree nuts. So you can, in the client preference area, select tree nuts, and it will bring up all the tree nuts. And then you can either eliminate or add ones that, you can eliminate ones that are appearing that they're not allergic to, or you can add ones that they are allergic to that are not appearing. And then anything inserted in that preference account, inside of their account in preferences, they will get an alert on their meal plan What the alert does is it provides you with a teaching space. It's a lesson. This recipe contains walnuts. Is this recipe dependent on walnuts? Probably not, right? So what do? You replace the walnuts with sunflower seeds. You replace the walnuts with pepitas or pumpkin seeds, right? The meal plan is a learning space. It is not a space of absolutes. So as much as possible as practitioners, we need to keep that in mind, right? You can have a perfectly curated macro designed meal plan created by a computer that is absolute. It meets these requirements. You can also have that computer screen out recipes that have something like walnuts to get an absolute meal plan, but it's going to be a lousy meal plan, no doubt. So we like to include all foods and then provide alerts for those foods that they are either allergic to or they don't like. So if your client doesn't like salmon, you can insert that as, a non-preference. Like, I don't want that on my meal plan, and an alert will come up. They can delete the recipe or they can change the recipe. So there is the option to still have a very customized experience without a computer algorithm delivering an absolute. Okay, so Carrie is asking a question. If they have had a KBMO test, I put these into their protocol. They love this. Perfect. That's great. Carrie, what do you put into their protocol? Tell me as a result. I'm not familiar with that test. So Carrie, tell us what you would put into that protocol. Okay, so you're understanding now. We're continuing this conversation about computer algorithms when I'm answering this question. Like, what is your goal, right? What is your intention? Your goal is that the client not eat walnuts, right? If that's what they're allergic to. So if you put an alert on the plan, they're not going to eat the walnuts, but maybe their children will, or maybe their partner will, right? People are not just cooking for themselves, which is another reason why we like the alerts, right? If we eliminated every recipe that had walnuts in it, what a shame. There are too many good recipes with walnuts that could be modified and or enjoyed by the rest of the family. Okay, so Carrie is saying, it's a sensitivity test. So foods that they have an allergy or a sensitivity to. Sure, use the preferences. It just puts up alerts so that people can see it. They can replace the recipe. They can change the recipe. Or they can make the recipe for their family and then make themselves something else. That totally works. Susan is asking a question. Do clients find that knowing they can change recipes actually do it? Do we track that? So no, we don't track those behaviors in Living Plate RX, and they might not. I mean, that is definitely higher level technology, even though it's pretty simple to edit a recipe, but they would just do it, right? So if a chia pudding called for walnuts, when they're making the pudding, they don't have to change it on the meal plan. They could actually just make it without the walnuts. They could make it with the pepitas. So the behaviors are kind of hard to track at the software level, Susan, but definitely at the coaching level and at the client level, you can and should be asking those questions and having that conversation. So having that conversation with somebody who has a walnut allergy, for example, I have set an alert on your meal plan. Every recipe that has walnuts in it, I want you to select one of these other options, either pepitas or sunflower seeds or sesame seeds, something else that they can have, and see how it goes. I don't think that you need to spoon feed people that much. Again, the meal plan, if you're trying to make it like an absolute space to have all the answers, you're going to exhaust yourself. That's where kind of that coaching and that MNT comes into place. Hi, Barbara. Welcome. Good to see you here. Okay. Next question. Should I create a free or paid webinar? So now this is a little bit more about marketing and sales. We talk about this a lot. We provide our members with a lot of support in the area of marketing, creating webinars and email sequences, all that good stuff. Again, asking yourself the question, what is your goal? What is your intention? If your goal is to create a lead magnet, yes, you should create a free webinar for sure. It's an excellent lead magnet, especially if your webinar is super high value. And the way that you create something that is super high value is that you make it very relevant to your ideal customer avatar and the solution that they're looking for. So if you're looking to build your email list, a webinar could be a wonderful thing to do. If your goal is to generate excitement around a course, yes, you should create a free webinar because it can generate interest around your course, kind of like your pre-launch. If you haven't listened to the podcast yet, I just published a 9-step launch plan. That was just the latest episode published this morning. It's the Nutrition Content Creator Podcast. Go ahead and listen to that. It'll make a lot of sense and it makes the case for why you should have a webinar as part of your practice offerings. Now, whether a webinar is paid or not, again, depends on what is your goal, what is your intention. Now, if your intention is to generate revenue with a webinar, yeah, you can absolutely, offer a paid webinar. But it's kind of like the retail meal plans. You have to have a very well-established audience of people who buy into you as being the expert and you providing them solution to their problem, and then you can sell a paid webinar. Usually webinars are pretty low cost, so you'll want to consider that when you're pricing out your webinar. A webinar is usually a lead into something else. So you'll see a lot of business coaches offering 5-day workshops or a 5-series webinar. That's all leading to a paid product that they have to offer. I use the strategy myself because it works. So you can offer a webinar or a series as part of a workshop that leads into a paid offer. So it can be free, it can be paid. Obviously, you're going to get more people opting in to a free webinar than a paid webinar. But if you do a paid webinar, you will get fewer people, but they will be highly qualified leads. Anybody who is paying you a nickel for your webinar is a higher quality lead than somebody who doesn't pay anything, right? So you can, if you're using your webinar to lead into a paid product, like a higher priced product, you don't have to be so hung up on the price of your webinar. It can be pretty low cost, and you want to load the value in there into the webinar, and then you can generate really, really high quality leads. Again, I use this in my own business, and it's been working for years. I change the webinar up frequently because my audience, it's a relatively small audience considering, and they like to see different things. So I try to mix it up. In one of the other podcast episodes, we talk about building a webinar around, promoting your course, but then also what should be included inside of your webinar, right? So not so much the how-tos, just kind of the webinar should be offering your clients, your ideal customer avatar, a vision for how you are going to help to get them to where they want to be. That's it. That's all you have to do. And then the paid offer gives them all the how-tos. All right. So now we're going to update you with some news. If you have not yet signed up for the assessment tool pilot, there is still time. We have spaces left. And we're looking to have about 200 of our members use this assessment tool. It's called VioScreen as part of this pilot. It is a 3-month pilot. I have sent several emails. I have posted it in the Facebook group. When this session is over, I'm going to post a few links below. This will be one of them. If you are interested in signing up for the pilot, strongly recommend that you get on board. It is going to be game changing for your practice. It is going to be game changing for your relationship with your clients, because you're truly going to be able to, almost like a Google map, this is how they describe it. You're going to be able to identify in a quantitative way where your clients are starting and then where they're ending after working with you for a certain period of time. That difference is going to validate your services. It's going to add value to your services. So game changing. And I'm super excited about this pilot. The reason why we're doing the pilot is because we want to see how it works in practice. We want your feedback. We want to hear from you how it worked. It is a validated tool, so we know it works, but I'm most interested in knowing how it works with practitioners who use our products. So keep your eyes open for that. We have a bunch of questions here, so I am going to answer some questions right now. Hold on. All right. Do clients find that knowing they can change recipes actually do it? Oh, I already answered that question. So we don't track that behavior. So I don't know if people are actually changing the recipes, but most changes just can be made as they're making recipes. Another question, what about the cooking course? How does that work? So my question to this question is, what is your goal? What is your intention? why would you want to offer a cooking course? So you can offer a complete culinary skills course. We give it to you, and you're very soon, I keep saying pretty soon. You guys are tired of hearing me say that. But every time we visit plant-based chefs, something else comes up that has to be changed. But Karen Reiser is getting that across the finish line. So you're going to have access to 2 very, very robust culinary skills courses. So whoever asked that question, if you could tell me, how are you intending on using that? Oh, this is El Raya. So El Raya, tell me how you are going to be using the cooking course, and then that will help inform my answer for you. You could use the cooking course, like a piece of that cooking course, as a lead magnet. You could use the cooking course as like a bonus for people who sign up with you, because the cooking course is a foundation for like everything that people are going to be doing when they work with you. If you're going to be asking people to get into the kitchen and cook, the culinary course is going to be super supportive. You could use it as a standalone product. You could sell it as a standalone course, but you could also use it just to add value to your practice, which is one of the things that I would have done if I had access to that when I was seeing patients. Carrie's saying I don't have access to that course. Oh, we'll get you that, Carrie. Can you just well, you already did tag me here. I'll follow up with you, and we'll make sure that you get access, Carrie. We're still working out the automations for people who sign up with us inside of Kajabi. So it's just a little bit of a delay. Sorry about that. Okay. I wanted to know if the culinary course is available yet. Yes. Not only is the culinary course available, Carrie, but we also created, let me just show you. Let's go into the library here. And I think it's right at the top here. So we have, where's the culinary skills course? And one thing that you guys you're asking for, which you are going to get, is a search tool to be able to find these courses easily. So we are working really hard on that. That is custom code that has to be built. All right, here we go. So Carrie, basics, knife skills and equipment, that is available to you right now. So you can go into your library, find the basics, open that up. And it is a very brief, but really foundational mini course for how to prep certain foods. And it demonstrates different types of skills. So with different types of food. So we have apples. Let me just open this up here. Apple prep, bell pepper prep, carrot prep, potato prep. We have all different preps, but you could align, you could do like a, meal prep challenge, email challenge, or a course. You can do just a meal prep course, and you could use each one of these as a foundation. So if I were going to, if it was week 1 and I was doing apple prep, I might offer 3 different recipes that have apples in them. So like the broccoli apple salad, which is delicious, apples with peanut butter and hemp seeds, which is a great snack, or some type of a baked apple chicken dish, like a sheet pan dinner, which I think we have as well. You can include that. So you can use it however you want. I mean, this content is yours to mold and add value to your brand and your practice. Use it however you want, Carrie. All right, so the assessment tool pilot, if you have not signed up for it, I'm going to drop the link in here once we're done. Okay. And here we go. So, okay, it looks like we might have lost a connection here. Hold on one second. Okay. Let me see here. Hold on one second. It says we're having trouble streaming to Facebook. It's an issue with Facebook. We'll keep trying. Okay. All right. So we might have lost our Facebook friends, but I'll keep going and we will upload this video for them. So Kitchen Lab is a summer camp for kids that I created. And our members have been asking us for access to that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload it to our library as just like a presentation. It won't be a full course view, but I think it could still be useful where I have the activities outlined. It is an outline and a lesson plan, but it's just not as complete as our other collections. But it sounds like some of you have opportunities in this area. So we will go ahead and load that for you. Okay, collections versus presentations. So the collections are already loaded into Kajabi, and these are complete courses. So what we've done is we've taken our collections from Teachable and we've uploaded them to Kajabi and built them out as courses. So we included knowledge checks, which are our evaluations. We included cooking videos. That's all there now. What's left are these presentations that haven't been built out into courses yet, like Nutrition 101, Mindful Eating, Intuitive Eating. We actually are almost done with that course. So I think what we're going to do, because a lot of you are still bouncing between Teachable and Kajabi, we're going to get the presentations into Kajabi, but they will be listed as such. So you're going to start seeing like mindful eating presentation. That is not going to be the mindful eating course because we haven't built that yet, but everything that's in Teachable will now be in Kajabi. And then lastly, before we sign off today, I'd like to hear from you what your content requests are. So our members have the opportunity to tell us what content they need. You are really driving the bus for content creation for us. We also have our content development board supporting us here. They have their own content submission form. So between our content development board and our community, we're getting plenty of requests. Our content calendar is going to be probably by the end of June completely built out for 2023. So make sure you get your content requests in. So sorry to my Facebook friends who got cut off. I'm not really sure what happened there. That's never happened before. But we'll figure it out and we'll get this recording uploaded for you. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I will see you again in 2 weeks. But if you wanted to join the coaching call with Karen next week, keep an eye open for the email that's going to be sent to you on Friday. And then I'll also post the link here. Thank you so much for joining me. Talk soon.